Have you ever wondered why, no matter how much we plan our life, things rarely go the way we expect? Sometimes everything feels against us. Our hopes fade, our patience breaks, and we begin to question God. But what if the failures, the setbacks, and even the pain are part of a bigger plan, a plan far greater than we can ever imagine? Today's story will remind you that even when your plans fail, God has a plan for you, and His plan is always bigger, bolder, and better. Once upon a time, a ship was caught in a terrible storm at sea. The ship was destroyed, and all the passengers drowned except one man, who, by the grace of God, somehow managed to survive. After struggling in the water, he was finally washed ashore on a lonely island. When he regained his senses and opened his eyes, he found himself all alone on that deserted land. Filled with fear and helplessness, he immediately began to pray, saying, "Oh God, please help me. Please send me some rescue." Days passed, but no help came. He spent his nights lying on the sand under the open sky. Each morning he prayed with the same hope, yet nothing changed. After some time, realizing that no one was coming, he accepted his fate. He started gathering wood, grass, and whatever he could find from the wrecked ship and built a small hut for shelter. He survived by eating coconuts and fish and slowly adjusted to the life of solitude on the island. One day, after lighting a fire, he went out in search of food, but when he returned, he was shocked. His hut was engulfed in flames. Everything he had collected, his only place of shelter, was turning to ashes before his eyes. Broken and angry, he looked up to the sky and cried out, "Oh God, I ask you for help, but you never listened to me. Now you have even taken away the little I had. How cruel you are." That night, he lay in sorrow, complaining, grieving, until finally he fell asleep on the beach. The next morning, he was awakened by a loud noise. To his astonishment, a ship had anchored near the island. Overjoyed, he ran towards it and was taken aboard. Unable to believe his luck, he asked the captain, "How did you know I was stranded here?" The captain replied, "We saw the fire signal rising from the island and knew someone must be here, so we came to rescue you." At that moment, the man stood in silence, realizing the truth. The fire signal they had seen was none other than the flames of his burning hut. What he thought was a disaster was in fact God's way of sending him help. Tears filled his eyes as he understood that God's plan is always bigger than his own. With a grateful heart, he bowed his head and started thanking God. Moral of the story: life doesn't always go the way we plan. Sometimes our hopes shatter, our patience weakens, and we feel as if everything is against us. In those moments, it's easy to complain to God, but that's when we must trust Him the most. Because while our vision is limited, His plan is far greater than we can imagine. So, whenever your path seems uncertain and your efforts seem to fail, remember, God's plan for you is not just different. It is always greater, stronger, and more beautiful than your own.